Right then, we've got some match betting this week coming up. It's a festival. Not sure if you've heard of it. Cheltenham. Yeah, so it's basically Christmas all week. Well, from Tuesday and the rest of the week. It's Christmas for match betters. So I put together a little video, kind of just some tips, just some things that I found useful. There's loads of these out there if you just search on YouTube. I know Team Profit have been doing tons of videos recently, which are awesome, so check those out too. So, a couple of tips, right, with Cheltenham. I think the first one, and probably the most obvious one, is if you've got a full-time job, or if this is not your full-time gig, then basically see if you can get the week off. Now, it's now Sunday. Cheltenham starts on Tuesday. I think for most people it might be a little bit too late to try and book it off. And I can't really advise calling in sick. I mean, you know, it's your employment, but yeah, I'm not sure about that one. But basically, try and get as much time as you can at Cheltenham Festival, and seeing if you can get on the offers, because Cheltenham Festival last year, they were just basically throwing money around everywhere. It was just crazy. I've never seen anything like it, actually. I mean, I think it was even more profitable than the World Cup, to be fair, because, I mean, the World Cup, there was tons of offers, but I don't know, Cheltenham just seemed to have massive offers. So definitely, if you can get the week off, I would strongly advise to do that, because it's going to be so busy, and getting on everything is going to be difficult for two reasons. One, time. Two, purely down to how much money you've got in your bankroll. Now, I'll talk about bankroll in a bit, but basically, you want to get as much money in your bankroll and that's available as possible. Now, for me, I've got all my money ready. It's all in the bank. And it's not huge amounts. I know some people have got like 10k plus. I'm not one of those people. I obviously do this part-time as well, so I've actually got this week off, so I'm kind of lucky in that way. So yeah, so make sure you've got the week off, and make sure that you've basically got all your money in your bank, because you're going to want it to be available. Now, if you've been doing match betting over the weekend, then try and withdraw with things like PayPal if you can. I know you can't always do that, but yeah, that's what you're aiming to do. Basically, is get all your money back out and into your bank, because you're going to need that money. I honestly think for most people, you'll run out of money before you run out of offers this week, and that's another thing we'll get to later. But one thing that you can do with Cheltenham Festival is learn about combined liability. Now, this handsome hairy dude did a video, how long ago was it? June the 7th, day after my birthday. This guy did a video on combined liability, but the crux of it is that if you're betting on multiple outcomes on the same event, so say if you've got like a horse race at 1 o'clock, and you're betting on this horse with this bookmaker and laying it off, and then you're betting on this other horse with another bookmaker, and then you're laying that off, and then you're betting on another horse, all different horses, and you're laying them all off, then the liability that you need on the exchange, so on the Smarkets side, it doesn't add up that way. It basically takes the largest liability. It's called combined liability. And if you're aware of this, then it's great, because you can make your bankroll stretch much, much further. But I did a YouTube video. I'll leave a link in the description. I also did a written guide on this as well, which is in the video, and I think that's in this description as well for this video. So I'll link it all up so you can see it. What else is there? If you haven't done the horse racing offers before, then I would try and get some practice in. You've got tomorrow to do some practice. You've got today, maybe. Actually, you might not have today. It's 5 o'clock now. But try and get some practice in. on the horses. Get used to the idea that the odds move around so much. I mean, I guess the main difference between this and football is that with football, the odds don't really move much, but then with horse racing, the odds move quite a bit, but then 10 minutes before the off, they kind of get really crazy and start to move quite heavily. And then a few seconds before the race and after the off, it just all goes bananas. So just take a look at the odds on a horse race. You don't have to bet on a horse, but just watch what happens so you don't go into it blind if you've not done horses before. The other thing I will say is make sure you sign up to any accounts that you don't have, because there's just going to be offers flying around all over the place and you just want those offers in your inbox. So sign up to as many offers as you can, because it's going to be a great week. It's going to be really profitable. The other thing I would say is sign up for OddsMonkey, even if you're not intending on using it beyond this week, because the tools and the community and the forums, you're going to be able to find a ton of stuff in there as well. So it's going to be really, really useful. I'll pop a link in the description below so you can sign up for that as well. I think it's £1 for 7 days if you use, I think it's Smarkets 2019 or something like that. I'll leave that link in there with the actual code. And try and plan on the day, like of the first day, the second day, the third day. Try and plan what you're going to do in the morning. So try and pick out the offers that you're going to make the most profit from, but you're not having to throw loads of money at. So like if you do an offer and it ties up like 500 quid's worth of liability and you're only going to make £10, then obviously that's dumb. But you want to prioritise the offers that you want to do in order of profit versus the percentage that you're having to put in of your bankroll. So obviously the less you put in and the more you get out, it's a more bang for your buck basically per offer. So make sure you plan in the morning which ones you're going to get on. The other thing I'll say is don't stress out if you don't get on all the offers. I didn't last year, but I kind of stressed out a little bit about it because I was like, oh, I'm leaving value on the table. Just don't worry about it, because you don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to rush things. You just got to take your time, just chill out and just kind of go with the flow and everything will be fine. So don't worry, just literally do what you can. It's fine. You know, everybody's scrambling for profit, but honestly, you've just got to take what you can and don't step beyond your means, because you don't want to be making mistakes because it can get quite expensive. Especially with horse odds and stuff, because obviously it's quite they move around quite a bit. The other thing is use PayPal as much as possible if you can. Now for me, I'm not on 0% on Smarkets. I'm actually on 2% on Smarkets, and that's because I don't get tons of time to do match betting. So because I'm not doing loads and loads and loads and loads of match betting all the time, then having the ability to turn my money around in Smarkets using PayPal is a lot more valuable to me than that 0%. I can make that money back faster, so I'm actually making more money by having 2% commission, but I can reset my bankroll every day rather than waiting 3 days. Because if you're using 0%, it basically means Smarkets won't let you withdraw to PayPal, and if you can't withdraw to PayPal, then it basically means that on day one, if everything wins into the exchange, then you can't get anything else out until probably the last day. So that means you've missed 2 days. Could you make more than that 2% commission that's been taken off you in those 2 days? Yeah, of course you can. So that's why I don't opt to use it. Now, if you've got a massive bankroll where it doesn't matter if you turn that money around quickly or not, then sure, 0%, perfect. But for me, it's just not for me. So. But use PayPal if you can. I know like Sky, you can use PayPal. Paddy, you can use PayPal. Bet365, you can use PayPal. William Hill, you can use PayPal. Sky is super quick actually. Like Sky have actually deposited my PayPal before I've even finished looking at other stuff. When I'm placing my bets and stuff, they can be super quick. But I imagine this week it's going to be slow in terms of PayPal, so if you do a withdrawal, I imagine you'll get it by the next day, because I think they're going to be getting hammered basically. And yeah, and that's really all I've got to say really about Cheltenham. Is yeah, take a look at OddsMonkey, obviously, for all the tools. It's a quid. Pretty sure you're going to make more than a quid this week. And also look at Team Profit. In fact, we've got it here. I'll put a link in the description below again, so you can sign up for that. And look at all this content that they've been doing around the Cheltenham stuff. Like, there's absolutely tons of the stuff. So go and take a look at those guys. They're doing a great job of things there as well. So another great resource. And join the Facebook group too. And yeah, and that's about it really. And then for the rest of the week, just don't stress too much. Just, you know, do what you can. Don't put yourself in a position where you can make mistakes. Just take it easy. Don't go bananas. And rinse those bookies dry, please, because we all hate the bookies. So there we go. But that's it for today, guys. Just a few quick tips, a few quick pointers. Not really that well structured, but just some things off the top of my head that I thought might help. Other people have probably said these things, but it's always good to reiterate it just in case. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to be doing, and that's how I'm going to be walking into it. So catch you in the next one, guys. Cheers.